Do you have query? Any other query?
In real environment, development environment, can I use the view bag, view data, or the temp data?
These node belongs to your environment. So it does not mean where you have deployed the code, everywhere they behave in the same way. They are not environment specific.
In case of actually in performance basis, which one is faster, view bag, view data, and the temp data?
You need to understand the use case of each one. View data and view bag is only sending the data from an action to view. Even I have shown the picture as well.
Okay.
Temp data is about for sending the data between the request.
Go to another control, one action method, another action method. Temp data.
So let's revise the yesterday session. So please do share your learning from the yesterday session.
Okay. Yesterday I have actually learned what is the view bag, what is view data, and temp data. Then it is used for the caching data purposes.
What is a view data?
View data means we can send the data from controller to view. Which is data is a dictionary which can hold the key and variables. This is actually view data which holding needs the casting because it holds the objects. But in case of view bag does not need any casting. View bag in case of in view bag which can hold the simple as well as complex data. View data also which can hold the simple and complex data. But we cannot access the complex data in case of view data without using the casting. But in case of
typecasting, you have to do everywhere, whether it's a simple data, whether it's a complex data. Does not mean.
Data. In case of complex data, suppose in case of list, we cannot convert directly, cannot access. We can use the casting.
So typecasting you have to do in each case, whether it's a simple string, whether it's a complex data. In each case, you need to do typecasting.
But in case of same data, we can use the sending the data from one page to other page, one control to other control, one action method to another action method. That also be stored in the key value pairs, which can hold the temp data value using the and keep methods. That's
okay. Thank you, Shiva, for sharing your learning with us. So guys, please do fill up for Shiva. The next one, please. Who is next?
Hello, Shailendra, Smukti this side. Hello.
Yes, Smukti, tell me.
Yes, yesterday we have learned like a different type of data parsing technique, like in view data, view bag, temp data, session, corresponding and cookies. So regarding the view data, and also you have learned the entity framework. So that is a part of the ORM. So in view data is basically a key value collection. Also, view bag is a type of object. Okay. So in view bag,
view bag is a dynamic one, not the type of object. View bag is a dynamic one.
Sorry, it is dynamic property.
So view bag is dynamic one, not an object type.
So view bag is an object type. It is on a type of object. Any
no,
kind of data
it's a dynamic type.
Yes, it is also dynamic type. View bag also, the view bag is the slower than the view data. Okay, so it is a similar functional to view data and view bag, but something is different like that. You are saying it is a dynamic property control base. Okay.
Mhm.
But this is the thing of what we have learned. Apart from that, what are the entity framework you have learned? So whatever demo yesterday you
What is
done,
the difference between temp data and session?
sorry,
What is the difference between temp data and session?
temp data is also one type of like it is a key value collection. It is temp data also working both .NET framework, any kind of framework. It also conversion required when you are just while to changing and enumerating the. So it is used for the passing the like consecutive request, whatever the request is come, but session automatically when something is like user has access the application and browser, then session will be created. It will keep the data minimum of the times. But time data only it is work on the during the request, but session it will also keep the data in the whole throughout the like user working in the browser, that will keep in that data in the session. But time data also keep the data during the request only. Hello.
Okay, temp data we use as a temporary session whenever you are sending the data between two data. That's fine. Any other learning you want to share?
Oh, okay. So that is the part of like a data passing. Apart from, I have some doubt and for some clarification is required regarding the entity framework. The each of the colleague also joined. So what are the entity framework you have designed? You create a table and dynamical ways. The whatever the process you have already yesterday session we have done, like can create like properties of classes, and then you have create the database context. So based on the context, then you write in the overriding method to migrating to database. If the database and table exist in the database, then it will be it is not creating. If it is already not there in the database, then table is created. Whatever the columns and primary key, foreign key will be automatically created. But thing is that when you are like in developing in the big application, that may be like uh, top type of application is most of the user, more of user is accessing. So at that time in the database like DBA will be create the database for that purpose. So, so in that scenario, because that should be an normalized and it will be an well-defined
Don't worry, I will cover.
database.
That part I will cover so far.
Hello?
I'm saying that part I will cover. Don't worry, I have not covered that part. I will tell you. If there is an older database, if you are working with that,
No, no, no. So my
how
that
you can work it. I will tell you.
you will tell, but think is that why it is required. If we are doing a application for the user for the like an high grade application, it will be and performs well. Where is the database administrator will design the table and structure and database. So in that case, here you are showing that how to create a table in the dynamically when the app will be running our installation. Okay, so in that case, how the some who is the developer cannot write and design the big type of database. So DBA has no idea about the MVC and that particular code.
So in that case, DBA will design the database as per the business
Your
requirement.
voice is very slow. Can you say loudly?
Was it not clearly audible also?
Can you hear me now properly?
Yes, yes, hear me. Here.
So the thing is, so DBA will design the database as per the business requirement.
Yes.
Okay, and what is database designed by the DBA? We can use in our code using the entity framework database first approach. Yesterday we did only code first approach
So
where
why?
we are working.
In that case, why the code first approach is required?
Sir, in so many companies, we don't have the DBA to work. So in that case, developers are doing that thing. So in that case, code first is design.
No.
Got it?
Yeah. So another things is that whatever my idea in like an ORM entity framework, then if you have like an like complex procedure, there is a multiple action. The multiple action, the one action is the A. There is a return table. There is return the 4 columns. Action B. There is return the 5 columns, 10 or 15 columns. Action C is the 12 or 20 columns. Action D is the 100 columns returns. So how to map in that case in entity framework?
How these action you are managing? First, tell me that one.
Yes. Currently, we are creating a store procedure. There is most of the business logic we have written. Let's example in our company the SAMS application.
Okay, it's fine.
SAMS, there is
Whatever the
multiple
SP,
like an
please hold on, please hold on. What are the SP you have written? You don't need to change them. You can call them as it is without an issue. It can be the case your SP
okay.
might be returning the multiple result set. So the result set we can access. Today I will show you how we can access the SP, how we can access the
No,
function.
that's we should learn. No, that's we should learn. Because of that, whatever you will learn, that is like an step by step that is like an developer. As most of the team members are on the tech lead here, so we should know the thing now.
Which one we should know?
So whatever technical challenge in our application we have already faced, so that question were raised. So you just provide the solution on that.
Sir, I didn't get your query. What you are saying? Because your voice is breaking. Can you say again? What solution you are expecting from my end?
Solution in that we faced a different type of problem. Okay, in entity framework. So yesterday you learned the entity framework, started the learning entity framework. So started the entity framework. There is whatever you faced in our past project in the entity framework. I just asked the same question. So you were just telling that we can call anytime, anywhere. So that's why I
What
tell you.
challenges you face until you will not let me know that challenges, how can
Okay,
answer them?
okay, can you give one example? You create one store procedure. In the complex type store procedure, there is a multiple action. So each action is the multiple result set will be coming. So how to map, how to create in code first and data first approach, that like that thing you need to learn.
So that thing I told you already, sir. I didn't tell this way how
Oh,
to call the SP.
yes.
I will call. I will show the example.
No. You can solve it will be good because whatever you learn, that is only you learn that the category and product. Category is a
Sir,
product in the
sir, I,
SQL.
sir,
Where
sir, I, sir, I don't know why you're asking. The thing is, I said you, I will tell you the way how we can call the SP until you are repeating the same question.
okay, you can proceed.
So until I didn't cover any topics, so how I can tell you, how I can clarify your query? I said when I will call the SP, then ask the query. If I will not tell that point, then come to me. There is no issue. Even we have
No.
done
So I
only
just
code first approach so far. Database first approach, I will show you. Because entity
okay,
framework, we just started yesterday. We having 3-4 class on entity framework core.
okay. Can
So this question come
okay,
arise when I said I completed entity framework core, but before completing entity framework core, you're asking the question.
okay.
Another query, guys, do you have? Okay, so please, other people share your learning, whatever we did yesterday. Guys, please do share your learning.
Yesterday we also learned type of cookie, how to store the value in a cookie and call that value in the page.
Hmm. So what are the different types of cookies we have?
There is a persistent cookie and non-persistent cookie.
Okay.
Persistent cookie
Hmm.
are stored in a file, but non-persistent cookie are stored in the browser memory.
So what is the lifetime for persistent cookie and non-persistent cookie?
When the browser will close, then the non-persistent cookie will be expired. But persistent cookie will be stored at the time period we have given.
Okay.
Then we are also learn the ORM.
Hmm. So what is ORM?
It is the map database to a table to a class,
Hmm.
class and object.
Okay. And what are the benefit you will find out of ORM? Okay, that
Will
benefit. Hmm.
It will help to create the data tables
Mm-hmm.
as per our the, if you are design a class and mention the property like a product, there is a product ID and product name. If you are designing in our class, it can be automatically mapped to a table.
Okay, so ultimately, if you're looking at the ORM, so ORM are helping us to query the database in object-oriented fashion. So instead of writing the plain SQL now, you have to just query your entity as we query our collection in the C#. And that entity will return us the list of data. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Tapan. Please do clap for Tapan as well and do clap for Smriti Naik as well for sharing their learnings. The next one, please.
Hello.
Hmm.
Yesterday we learned about entity framework core built-in conventions
Mm-hmm.
like naming convention, primary key convention, type convention, relationship convention. So naming convention
Mm-hmm.
based on the class name, and if it is carries a ID, then it will create a it will consider as a primary key. Or if it will if the class will carry only ID also, it will take as a considered as a primary key.
So if a
So
class containing a property with the name ID or class name suffix ID,
yes,
so that property consider as primary key.
right.
And one more thing here, if the primary key data type is integer, by default, it make it identity column. This is also the rule. So in identity, you don't need to do that. You don't need to pass the things explicitly. It is auto increment column. Okay.
Yes.
What is next?
Next is relationship convention, where we just create the foreign key. One column of the primary table, one first table, parent table would be the foreign key of the second table, child table. So for that, we have to just add a navigation property.
Where you will add the navigation property?
We'll add in the child class, child table class.
Yeah, child table class, not the child class.
Yes.
Okay. So for defining the foreign key, make sure you added a reference property in your child table class. So in our case, it was products. In the product, we added it.
Yes.
And what is next?
Next, primary key convention also that can covered with that. Then
Okay,
type convention.
okay, that's fine. Bandeshwari. Please do clap for Bandeshwari. The next one, please. Sudhakar.
Hello.
Hmm.
Yes. Apart from the my colleagues told everything, that is another context we have seen in that entity framework. In the entity framework code first approach.
Hmm.
So we have seen how to migrate the database. That means how to create the database. What are the commands is required to create the database.
Mm-hmm.
So that part also we have seen, and also we have seen the DB context. That means we have to create a separate class which need to inherit from the DB context.
Mm-hmm.
So where we shall define all the tables map to the models. So our model class and the table class, all the tables in the database, those are need to map in the class which is inherited from the DB context.
Yeah, in your
So
database context class, you need to add those classes using DB set for those you are willing to create the tables.
yes.
And those classes which you will not add there, entity framework will not create the tables. Remember this point always.
Yes, and again we need to override the on configuration method, on configuring method by using the DB context option builder. So we where we can define our database connection string. So those things also we have seen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Sudhakar. Please do clap for Sudhakar as well. Your next one, please, Ritika.
Yes. In yesterday's class, I think we have almost covered everything. We learned about the different ways in which the view and controller pass data between each other. That is view data, view back, temp data, session, and cookies. We practiced how to implement it in the project. We also learned about entity framework. We also learned about entity framework and how to create a database, meaning from the page we write the code classes, and those classes will be created as tables in our DB. How we can create the DB, the add migration functions, and the update database functions.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I think we revised the study class successfully. There is no issue. I hope, guys, you started your exercise, your daily routine properly. Am I right? Are you following the things? I ask on the daily basis. The reason is so that I can recall you. You have to start your daily routine. And I hope in 10 days, you will be able to make your daily routine. That is again very important from the perspective of physical fitness as well as from the perspective of mental fitness as well. Even I will share the some tips as well. Don't worry about the mental fitness as well. Okay, these things are very important. And please remember the yesterday how to manage your time. So it's not about only noting down the time, your task list. It's about match it with your energy. Got it? So whenever you having the more energy, let's say you feel energetic at that moment, do the important things over there. Don't do unimportant thing at that time when you are full of energy. Usually we did that mistake. Most important things we actually postpone to the evening, and what happens in the evening, we don't have the energy much and the tasks are not able to complete it. So better ways here, the most important task of the same day, try to complete in the first half or at the time when you feel more energetic. Always follow this rule. When you will follow this rule, you will be always more productive for that day. Is it clear? Okay. There is a one feedback link I'm sharing with you. You need to submit it right now. It will take hardly 1 or 2 minutes. Feedback link I shared through the chat window. Please open it right now. And it is just tick mark and just do share the feedback of the training so far. It is important. You have to complete it immediately right now. I'm waiting for the completion part. It will take hardly 1 or 2 minutes. I hope everyone received the feedback. Have received the link? Please submit it immediately. It will take hardly 1 or 2 minutes. Are you doing it? Okay, thank you. And please do let me know when you will complete it. Have you opened guys yesterday project? Okay, so if you're looking at here, yesterday we created the database without any issue. But if you're looking at, we have not defined any explicit mapping. So if you will look, if you will open the database, so there you will get in the database all the column data type, which are the string here, we having the varchar. So we having here the varchar one. If you're looking at here, this is my database one. This is the EF core CSM. So if you're looking at here EF core CSM, so we having the things here, categories, we having the things here on the product. And if you're looking at the categories, so we having the varchar max. For the product also, we having the same thing. Now let's say you're willing to change the data type from varchar to varchar. Okay. And let's say you want to specify the length limitation as well. Let's say varchar 50, varchar 100, like this way. So do we have any way? So yeah, we having a way through that we can set up it. So in that case, you can use either data annotation approach, either Fluent API approach. So one of them we can use here. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using here data annotation approach. So let me add here a system dot component model, then data annotation. There's a namespace, first namespace need to add it. And the second namespace is here, then schema dot schema this way. Now what I can do here, I can define here the primary key. This is my key here. This way explicitly I can define. Even I can define the data type using the column. As a column, I'm using here, let's say type name. As a type name, we having the varchar 250. Simply. Then I can make it here required. This is my required because I want to make the name as required. But here make sure if we don't have any value in this name field, or you can say in this product table, so we can make it required without any issue. But it's something, you know, when there is a data in the table, and if you're willing to add any new column, that time it's create the issue. Here it's fine because it's existing column, and the existing column, if data is there, there is not any null value, it is possible to complete. Same thing I can do here for description as well. So let's say it is like this way. And let's say if you're willing to define the foreign key as well, I can define the foreign key as well using the foreign key attribute. So I can use here my foreign key attribute and define the things over there. So let me define here the foreign key. This is a foreign key. And for the foreign key, let me define the property name. So this is my property name I'm passing here to the foreign key, simply. And the same thing you can define for your category also, if you're willing to define. So here, let me share this code with you. I'm sharing the code through the chat. You can copy and use it as it is. And guys, the similar way we can define here for category also. So I'm making the category as primary key. Even it will not make any change because we already having the category ID as a primary key. Only the things which are willing to change, we can do over there. So I can define here the column for this purpose. And for column, let me add the namespace also. And here I can define the type name, and it would be here again varchar 50. Let's say I'm defined by this way. And you can make it's also as required. So this is my category. Same way as we added the product, we added the category also. And guys, please do complete it. So guys, everyone has completed this one. Good to go ahead. Okay, now let's do one thing here. Now let's add one more migration file. If you look at yesterday, we added a migration file. Today also, I'm just going to add one more migration file. And if you will see here, we having this number. If you will check out the migration file having a number based upon the date time. So yesterday it was 29th July. Read it from right to left as I selected 29 July 2021. This is the date and this is the time stamp. Using the date and time stamp, it is doing the things. So same way, I'm just adding here a one more migration file, add dash migration name update one. So update one is a command I'm running here to do it. So can see it's added here a one more migration file with the name update one over here. Update one is a command it's added here. So we'll find out it's today also added the same file with a number based upon the date time. So today is 30 July 2021 and this is date time. And what are the new changes we have done? You will find out here two places. So we having here up method and we having here down method. So up method is for uploading your model changes into database. So you can see here it is running the alter column command this way. Alter column command, and down method is for rollback. Sometime it happens you might need to roll back the changes, whatever you have done at the database side. So in that case, down method is really helpful. So rollback, in case of rollback, down method is going to use. In case of update, up method is going to be useful. Is it fine? So I hope you have created the second migration file as well by running this command, add dash migration, then update one. Have you completed this one also? Can you confirm? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So now here run the things. So now here in the next command that is about here update dash database. So every time you have to use only two commands, add migration and update database. So these are the only two commands we need to run. That's it. And after running this command, do check your database, what is happening there. I'm just going to refresh. If you will see, this is my varchar 50. If you will see, this is my name varchar 250, description 250. Everything has been changed now as per the new changes, or you can say as we did the migration over there. So good to go ahead now.
The command is update migration, right?
Your command is add migration. The second one is here update dash database, not the migration. This one.
Okay.
How to use remove migration?
That one I will show you. If let's say you're willing to remove the thing. So if you will find out here, what are the migration we have done? We have included two entry over here. You can see we have been two entry, initial and update one. Now let's say you're willing to roll back. So in case of rollback, I can roll back to the initial stage. So I can roll back here by running the command update database and do mention your migration ID to which point you want to roll back. If let's say what are the changes we have done recently, those changes I'm willing to roll back. So you need to mention here the previous migration ID. I'm entering that by running update database command. So what it did here, you can see it's did the rollback of the previous one. If you will see here now in the migration history, we will have one entry initial only. Even what are the changes we have done recently, those changes are not the part of this one. This is the way it is now become the nvarchar max as it is this way. So what happens in case of rollback? It's actually roll back the things from the database, but it's still file is available. Update one file is there. Okay, and even you will see one more thing here. There is a one more file, database context model snapshot. This snapshot file is containing the information about what are the various migration we have done so far. It is containing everything. So every time when you will do the migration, this snapshot file is going to be updated. But if let's say you have did the rollback, so we need to update this snapshot file as well. And you should not do this update manually. This update we should do by using the command remove migration. So now we can run here remove migration after the rollback. So guys, are you able to complete the database label rollback? Can you confirm? Database label rollback. Have you completed by running this command update this database, then your migration ID. So this migration ID would be different for each person. Have you completed this one? Okay, thank you. So now just run here command remove dash migration. After running this command, it will delete this update one file as well. This one, remove migration. It's revert the model changes by running the command remove migration this way. So now we having here is still nvarchar max this way. It is coming over there. Got it. So we have done the rollback by running the command remove dash migration. So remove dash migration is a command which will delete the migration file from your code. You can see now we don't have any update one file in this migration folder. Is it fine?
Can you just show the update database migration one, that command?
Update database command need to run with your file name, initial file, what are you are having. So what is the file name you are having? You can just do F2 and copy and put it here. Update that database, then file name. So this file name, make sure you are using from your own system.
Yes, when I'm running, it is showing error. There is already object named categories in database.
What command you are running?
Update database, migration ID underscore initial.
Can you share your screen?
Please enable screen sharing. I'm running this command.
Can you open your database? SQL Server.
This one.
Open the migration history table. Now select it. How many record are there? So if you're looking at here, you have not done update one migration. You have been only one migration so far. So obviously you cannot go to the same location, same step again. Got it?
Okay.
So first run the command add migration update one.
No, I have run the command. Na? Here in Solution Explorer,
Okay,
I have not
so you
run.
didn't run the update database command. After running this one, run one more command, update database. Now run update database.
After running the command remove migration, then actually in database part there is no changes.
Can you show me the update one, what it is saying?
Database.
No, update one. Show me the update one file, what it is happening, drop column, alter column. Can you scroll down? Have you changed the column name also?
No, I have not changed, I think.
Can you scroll to top? I think one thing you change drop column category name. And you added win plus of category name only. Can you open the table? In the table, if you will see, there is a column. Category. I think you copied my code. Category, can you open? Is it category name?
Yes.
And now what you added there? I think you added only category.
Where?
In your code level. Can you open category class? You can see you mention only name.
Here
So
I have to write category name.
Address
you need to remove the update one migration file first.
Command I have to write.
Remove migration command run over there.
Only remove migration. Then add migration.
Add migration update one.
Which migration is removed using remove migration?
You can see here it is removing the update one. In the message, see that in the message also it is showing.
Yes.
Now check out in update one file what is generating. You can see now it is generating the things properly. Am I right? Now run the next command update dash database. What it is saying now, can you go to the top? So why it is saying to add this category? Can you show me the table? I think you have not added the foreign key concept before. Can you open the tables? Do you have foreign key in the product table?
Yes.
Okay. The thing is, can you open the columns? Name, description, category ID. Okay. Can you open the product one, product class? This is your,
Actually, I have deleted initially from the starting of the class. I have deleted the migration folder.
no, you have done actually some changes somehow. That's why it's not doing properly. So just do one thing, just read the database and create it from scratch. Because something you change. That's why
Okay.
it's having that issue. It might be you deleted the migration folder, you added it again.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay, I will delete the migration folder and also delete the database.
So in that case should work. If you have deleted the things and deleted database as well.
Let me do that. I deleted the migration. Also, I am deleting the.
But now in your case, you will have only one migration. Until you will not run the command update database, it will not create it. It's added with the new changes, but you will have only one migration file.
One migration, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So guys, we are able to now perform the remove migration as well. If you're looking at here, if you're willing to do the things again, so you can add here a one more class, and for that class also we can add the things, but I'm not adding it, I'm leaving it as it is. So now let's do one thing. Just run a command again, update, add migration, update one.
This was just one level change, meaning if we want, like we make some change after 2 to 3 migrations and we update it, the same thing will work.
I'm showing that one also, hold on. Add here, add migration, update one, then I'm running here again command, update database. So it's again added the update one, doing the
Here I
things.
will write add migration update one.
After
When
removing the update one, I'm running this command. Make sure you run this command first. Remove migration. This one. First remove, then add, then update.
No, my question is first of we write add migration update.
Add migration.
Here we will write update one.
First we did the rollback. Okay, so rollback we have done. Then we remove the migration. Okay. Then we add the again migration. Then did the things. If you're looking at here, these are the steps we did. This is the way how we can do the rollback. This is a rollback. This is about removing the last migration file from the code as well. This is for adding the new migration file. And this is for updating the database.
This is now my question is if I will write here add migration updated, then it will work or not?
It will work if you have deleted the things. Even you can create the same migration file again, there is no issue. If there is no pending migration. Sometime it happen, let's say you forget to delete the migration file. So what will happen when you run the command add migration? Okay, it will say there is a pending migration file. Got it? But if you have deleted, then you will not get any message over there.
Then again I will remove the migration. Then I will again execute the add migration update 2.
Normally we give the different name so that we can remember it, because number we didn't remember, but text we can remember.
Okay.
So you can give your user friendly name.
So update is the actual the name. This is not syntax.
For which one?
For add dash migration, then here I can write my name also.
Anything you can write. I'm not saying it's a name over there. It can be anything. Update one is a text. It can be ABCD. It can be XYZ. Anything.
But I think update 1, update 2 is a syntax.
No, these are not syntax. These are the name only.
So remove migration command will remove the current migration or
last migration it will remove, which we did recently.
We have changes do the changes in variables and add migration update 1. Then we remove using remove migration, right?
Yeah, right. If let's say there is a one mistake happens while doing the changes, you can roll back, then again fix it, and again add a migration file, update 1, and run it, update database command.
So when we execute the update database, is it required to name the migration name?
No.
Mention the migration name.
When you're running the update database command, it automatically pick up the last migration file.
Last migration. Okay.
If you mention any name, so if you mention by mistake the name which you have given before, let's say the first migration file, second migration file, so it will roll back actually. Got it? Because the same command we are having for rollback, same command we are having to apply the last migration.
Yes. So when we will execute the remove migration, it will delete also rollback also execute the database modifications.
Database modification will roll back by using the update database and that migration name. Do the database rollback. Remove migration is for code level rollback.
Okay. In development, we are updating the database using the command. For production, how will update the query?
Actually, the migration is only recommended to use till the development environment. To the production, we don't follow this practice. We always prefer the SQL script.
Yes, in case if any changes require one table. Then
so in the production environment, you should always do the change using the script. Even we having the script migration here, using that I can generate the script. What are the migration we have done so far? So just run the command script dash migration. And what it will do, it will create the script. What are the migration we have done so far? Just give me a SQL script.
Then this script will be executed in the.
You can see here we having the script create table category, create table product. Okay. And now they having the some changes, alter table product, alter table category. So this script need to run in the production machine for doing your DB changes. So this one is the command script dash migration. Even in script migration, you can decide a range range as well. Sometimes it happens, let's say sprint 1 has been delivered already with all the DB changes. Now only sprint 2 changes we want to hand over. So in that case, we can define the range. So in the range, we can define here the from this way, dash from, then migration name, let's say update 2, Then we having update 4. So only from update to update 4, it will include the things into migration script. The update 1 and update 2, it will not include over there. So this way you can define a range as well to generate the script. Is it fine?
Yes.
We are providing the migration name from to. Let's say I have created some migration yesterday or day before yesterday and some created today. So all the files between that migration files will be deleted.
No, these file actually is creating in temporary location. If you want to save it, you need to save it somewhere. So you can see it's not the part of the project. It is some random number showing it. If you will close the solution, you will not again find out this file. So better way is here, if you need the SQL script, you can save somewhere and keep using simply. Anything else?
Can you run this command in program or execute this command? Otherwise, this package manager console.
We can mention here from, and I want to generate it from initial one. This is my initial, then 2. This is my update 1. So you can see only what are the changes we did in the update 1, those are coming, you can see. It's not showing the create table category, create table product. In the previous one, it was showing the create table category, create table product. So here it is only taking in this range, initial to update 1. So it is not starting from the initial, it is starting from the update 1. Got it? How the range is working here. So guys, any other queries? Do you have?
Removing this using step migration, then does it have any impact in database? I don't think so, but
Remove migration, only removing the things from the code level.
code level.
Update database is for rollback and update.
Got it.
Hello.
Tell me.
Can you execute in code level this command?
This command I already run.
Yes.
No, this is not for at the
add
level. This
no
is
add migration. Yeah, update migration.
That's command I already run, right? Add migration, update migration. Now it is about generating the script.
No, not in the manager console. I want to do it in the programmatically, logically. Can you do it? Inside the, if there is some condition is happen, then I will be added the one column. If that condition is there, that type of condition is arise, that case will be arise. Can we add that one dynamically?
Actually, the thing is, it's a SQL database, not the NoSQL. So we don't have any use case. Let's say the dynamically we need to add the or hide the column over there. So conditionally, no, it's not possible over there. You need to either add, either not add.
Okay.
So shall we go ahead now?
Yes.
And someone asked me if it is at multiple labels. So for multi-label, just do one thing. I'm adding here one more class so that we can able to add one more migration label. Let's say I'm adding here a user class. I'm making it public. I'm using, let's say, user ID. I'm adding, let's say, string username. Then we having it address. This way we did the address also. Now here you are willing to follow the migration. And you need to register it with the database context class. So let me first share this class with you so that you can start using it. Now, database context, I can add this user class. And here also I'm using the users. And guys, here one more thing to understand here. What are the DB set property name you are defining? With the same name, it will create the table. Whether this property name is singular, then it will not make it plural in the that it will make the plural in the database by adding the SRES. But if let's say your name is already plural, so then it again don't add the SRES. So this is about the DB set.
Can you repeat again?
DB set is here. First of all, it is helping us to perform the CRUD operation on any database table. Second thing is, what are the property name we having here for user? Let's say it is users. It is plural. So in the database also it will make the plural. Let's say users. But you let's say you given that this property name as only user. So in database it will be only user. Got it? So navigation property name decide the table name into the database. So anything else? And guys, when you will complete, please do let me know so that we can proceed here to run the next migration. That is update 3. So I'm opening here the package manager console here. Now in the command add migration update 3. It can be any number, it's up to you. Let's say I'm using update 3. So shall we go ahead now? Guys, can you confirm?
Yes.
Now in the command here, next command is here update dash database. That's it. Or by mistake, I added there 43, not an issue. It's added here one more migration entry. This way, update 43. Now we'll have one more table here. Refresh. So I just refreshed it. Okay, let me refer the database, not the tables. So you can see it's added here users table as well with the user ID, name, with the address. So this is the way how the things are working without defining any data type. Sorry, getting the same behavior. So guys, you are able to create it. If you will check out here, it's working fine in my case. If it is working fine in your case as well, you will get here 3 entry as I'm getting here. These are 3 entries. Are you getting the 3 entries now?
Yes.
So for doing the rollback, you can run here the same command, add date database, and to which point you want to roll back. I want to roll back to this point, initial one, initial only, sorry. So it will delete these two migration, update 1, update 3, even it can be others also. So you have to just always select the migration ID to roll back the changes. So you can see now it's revert to migration, update 1 and update 3, isn't it? So this is the way it can be done on multi-level. Now, so if you have completed here, this one, now we can proceed to rollback. So rollback we have done here. If we're looking at here, we having only one entry, and whatever we created, that we will get only this way. So it does not have here table users. It having table category, the table product, where we having the things. So now if you want to roll back here, you need to run the command. It has been done. Now let me run here, remove dash migration to remove it. So last migration file, it will automatically delete over there. Similar way, I can remove it here, remove migration. Which one? Update 1. Update 1. Okay, now don't mention any name, just mention only remove migration. It automatically delete the update 1. So one by one you can delete and go back to the previous label from where you started. So update label did rollback you can do once, but at the code level you need to delete them one by one. So anything else do you have, or shall we go ahead now? Rollback also we have done, and if even you can delete everything also. If you want to delete everything, then there is option available here, update database and remove everything as 0. This is my 0 I'm mentioning here. It will delete everything. So you can see deleted the initial as well. Similar way, remove migration. So it's deleted everything. We don't have any migration folder now. So the command which you need to run here, just run this command, remove migration. It's some one. Run this command, update database, then uska. Then you need to mention our 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that we can roll back to this point. So zero means it will delete everything, make the zero or make everything zero this way. So you can see here, we don't have anything. Okay, now let's proceed further here to use here CRUD operation. So good to go ahead to perform the CRUD operation here. So for CRUD operation, just do one thing, just add a new project. I'm adding here a new project, same way for MVC. MVC is my project. Oh, one more thing, let's do the migration because we delete everything. Guys, if you roll back everything, so let's create it again. So for creating again, it's just same way, add migration initial, because now we are doing again from scratch. So it is initial, add migration initial. So we added here add migration initial this way. It is coming now. Then run update dash database this way. So it's added simply. Update database command. So make sure we having at least database behind the scene so that we able to perform the CRUD operations. Now if you will look at, we having everything, category, product, user, and you will have only one migration history because only in my one migration we having the all changes which we have done so far. Is it fine? Have we created the database again after deleting everything? Okay, now let's add here the MVC project. So just do right click the solution explorer, and from there I can sorry, I can add a new project. And at this time, same way I'm searching for MVC template. So just select here ASP.NET Core web app template that we having here for model view controller. Tell me.
I just read on the commands. I got two tables, category and product, but I didn't get the user table.
Have you added the user in database context?
Yes.
Can you share your screen?
This one.
In DB set, you have mentioned update, not user. So the product you have mentioned. You should mention user.
Okay.
Product DB set. Yes.
Thank you, Devi.
Need to again run the migration because you did the change. Add migration update one, then run the update database.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, make sure now you are adding your MVC template for ASP.NET Core. Same thing I'm doing here. This is my MVC template for MVC Core. Click on the next button. I hope everyone selected the MVC template, isn't it? Now I'm defining my project name. So project name is here, web app. It can be anything, but let's say I'm defining the project name as web app. Then same default setting, target framework, .NET 5, and create it. So we added everything in MVC project. This way, this is my MVC project. So have you created your project now? So guys, shall we go ahead now, or do you have any query? Okay. So now just do one thing. Now just add this Dell layer project reference here. Just click on the dependencies. Then I'm selecting here the Dell layer project reference this way. So I'm adding here the Dell layer project reference here in my web app. After that, I'm able to use this database context class object over here. Have you added the reference?
Yes.
So now just do one thing. Now just define here your database label connection string. I'm defining my connection strings over here. Then connection string name, let's say DB connection. Then connection string value. So connection string value I can copy from here. Let me copy it. Whatever connection string you define in your database context, just copy from there and put it here. If you need this setting, I can put it here. So this is the way how you can define your connection string here simply. Have you added the connection string here? So good to go ahead. Okay. So now open here the startup class. There we will define the things. So this startup class, I will read this one and use it. Then the startup class, we having this configure services method. And in the configure services method, let me access the connection string. So it would be his services dot add DB context. So as DB context, it would be here simply database context class. So database context class. Add the missing namespace. Then we having here options. I will define the option for my database over there. So define the database options here simply. I'm defining it. So I'm just using here these options. So options dot use SQL Server. And now just use this option. So options dot, sorry, not option, I will use here. First of all, add the missing namespace. That is for entity framework core. And using this configuration, I can read the value from my this app setting.json. So what are the value we define here? I can access from this app setting.json. So configuration, sorry, it's a configuration dot get connection string. Then do pass your connection string name. So what is my connection string name? It is DB connection. This way I can define it simply. So this section you need to add here for adding the database context there and defining the connection string simply. So this way we can do it here. And when it will complete, please do let me know.
Can you describe the in the startup method the configure services and configure configure service method which part will be declared in configure method which part will be declared?
Actually, in configure services method, we add the dependency for our application. And in the configure method, we add the middleware. Don't worry, when I will explain the ASP.NET Core pipeline, these method I will discuss there in detail. So anything else?
No.
Salandra, hello.
Hmm.
What is the difference between configure services and configure? That will not work.
The same thing I told you, configure services method we use for adding the dependencies in our application.
You know,
And
services.
configure services. Let's say we having the entity framework core dependency, we having any other service dependency. Configure method we use for adding the middleware. So when I will explain the ASP.NET Core pipeline, that time I will explain it again. Don't worry. Got it?
Here we have added primary key, foreign key using a code first approach, right? So can you show some example how can we add a unique key constraint or a default key default value constraint or check constraint?
For default value, we cannot do it here.
It's not possible in code first approach.
Default value constant is not there actually. There we need to just define a value at the constructor level. So here, if you're willing to define any default value to anything, so I can add a constructor, and here I can add default value to any field, like this way. This is the way the default value can be set up to any field.
Then indexing, how can you manage it?
For defining the indexing, we having the attribute for that one also. So using the attribute for entity framework core, that can be done.
You will attribute.
We having the index. So here we can define the index. So let's say if we're willing to define an index, I can use here index attribute like this way. And I can define the name of the index. Name. What do you want to define? Let's say IX name. And here you can mention is unique, then true.
Suppose I want to implement a unique key constant by combination of two columns.
In that case, you can use the Fluent API. Fluent API is also the way which can be done. And even the index, actually we not define here, index attribute to define at the class level over here. And which column you want to define as index, that I can define over there. So it is here, let's say name so we having here name of this way. Here you can define what you are willing to make as index, so here it can be done. And the property name here you can pass separated by comma if they are more than one. Okay, if willing to pass more than one parameters as a which you told more than one table, more than one column, this we can pass it. Product ID this way. Got it?
So code first approach is more complex as compared to database approach.
So the thing is, whenever you are learning anything,
no, actually, this is what we have created index on the multiple columns. But what Rupi is asking, He's asking how to create a composite key. That means what? He want to create a unique key between the two columns by combining the multiple columns.
So unique key also can create. Sorry, the composite key also can create. For composite key, here I cannot create. For composite key, I need to use this approach. The Fluent API. In the Fluent API, we having the has key method. So here I can pass new keyword and define the composite key. That is also possible.
Yes, one more question is what? Actually, we have specified the connection string information in the database DB context class. And also we have given the connection string information in the app setting.json class, right?
The same thing I'm explaining. Please hold on.
Okay.
So have you completed this setup, which I had done, which I've completed? I added the connection string here. I'm calling here. So the thing is, actually, it's not recommended. You should define the connection string at the database context level when it is going to deploy the application to multiple environment. Okay. So that time we having the connection string always at the environment file. So which is the environment file here? We having the app setting .json. This is environment file. So we should always read the connection string from this file, not from the database context. So if you're looking at here, the same thing I'm checking. If I have not configured the connection string, that time only this is going to be used. And especially it is helpful when I'm doing the migration. So actually this is only for migration purpose. I define this connection string. Otherwise, there is no use of this connection string. I will pass it from startup.cs file. Please guys follow me, do the changes. So now I'm doing the changes here, DB context options. So DB context options I'm defining here. And this is my option. This is my options. So what are the options we define in the startup class? Now we are passing to the parent class over there. So this is the way. What option we define in the startup class, we are reading here and passing the parent class. So this is setting from a startup.cs file we are doing. For migration into add a default constructor only for migration. If you will not add this default constructor, it will not allow to do the migration. So this is for migration only. This is for startup file. So these settings are required when you're dealing with the entity framework core. So anything else? Do you want to ask?
Please repeat again. Hello.
Tell me.
Please repeat again.
Can you say again what you're saying?
Actually, that you have declared the public database context and the constructor database context.
Are you saying this one?
No,
DB
no.
connection.
In the database context. Yes. Why you are declaring this?
This is the DB context option we need to define and need to pass this class reference here as option. And the same options we defining here now. Do you have this class, this code, or should I share?
Yes, I have this.
So anything else? Do you have?
Surrender. Connection string is defined in startup class. Hello.
Tell me.
Startup class, that is a MVC application. It's not on core MVC application, and that DB context is defined in class level DAL. So how it's getting the connection string from application in class level?
Actually, it is taking here because of dependence injection. So dependence injection I didn't cover so far. I will cover in the next session. So it is happening because of dependence injection.
I'm getting error for add contest, service.add contest. It says add DB contest doesn't contain a definition. I service collection doesn't contain a definition for add DB contest.
So make sure you added this namespace, this one.
Actually, short answer, I have actually not clear this concept.
So this is happening because of dependence injection. If you know about the dependence injection, you can get it. This one.
No, yes, in the dependency system we will cover. Actually, can you explain why you are declaring the constructor in the database construct and again in the startup class?
In a startup class, we are adding those things which we are going to add at application level. So it's a one-time setup when the application will start.
Okay. At the time of application start, the connection string will be fetched.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We don't need to provide it every time.
Okay. Then we will comment the part in the database context. We have written the connection string. Then it should be commented.
You know, whatever the connections thing we wrote here, it will not work. This is now useless. If you want to comment, you can comment it. It is actually automatically useless because I added already this condition. If it is not configured, then it will use. Otherwise, it will not be used. So that configuration we already did from here. Got it?
And you have commented that only for migration we need the only constructor. For setting,
yeah, this is only for migration. Let's say in the dev environment, we are doing the migration. So that time the default constructor is required, and this connection string also required for migration. Because migration we do from the Dell layer, not from the web app. So in the Dell layer, we don't have any app setting from where we can get the connection string. So somewhere need to define the connection string explicitly. So that's why here we define connection string explicitly. Got it?
Migration purpose means when the development environment to production environment.
As we run the command add migration update database. So what was that? That was migration. Entity framework migration, not the code migration. Is it clear?
Yes.
I think something I am missing. Actually, by adding this namespace also, I am getting error for entity framework.
Can you share your screen?
Yes.
Can you scroll down? Have you had the reference of Dell layer in your current project?
Yes.
Can you show me which version of .NET you are using?
10.4.
No, I'm not asking for which. I'm asking for the your project version number. I think you need to add one more namespace. I'm sharing the namespace list at my end. You just add them at the top level. Can you add these namespaces at your, can you start a file? I share the namespace list. Add the del layer as well. I think entity framework you are not getting, that's why it's happening so. So make sure you build your del layer and you build your project as well. Can you build the project? Can you build your del layer only? Only del layer.
For this, it is only del layer.
I'm saying build only del layer because it is having the dependency on del layer.
Okay, so I need to build this one first. I'm removing this, then I'm building that one.
No, don't need to remove it. You need to just del layer having separate one is having separate one. Your startup project is web app, set the startup project as del.
Sorry?
Set the startup project as del. Do right click at the del project, set is startup, then build it. Now build it.
Yes, I'm looking at this.
Can you comment this line unnecessary? We are getting this error. Complete line comment out. Can you restart your Visual Studio? Sometime Visual Studio unnecessary give the error. Guys, what about others? Have you completed this one? So, guy, let's have a 10 minutes break. After the break, we will continue. Okay. Meanwhile, is somebody having the issue? Please try to fix it. So what I'm doing here, just I'm adding here empty product controller this way. So make sure everyone has added the empty product controller. So just do one thing here. We already added this database context one. So what I can do here, I can inject it here using my constructor. I'm adding a constructor for DB like this way. Let me inject it underscore DB. So I'm using, let's say DB. Do one thing, let's underscore DB and DB. It is underscore DB equal to DB. Simply. Now here I will write the query to fetch the list of data from the database. Have we completed this one? Just add a constructor at the reference and do it here. I'm just getting here the list of products from the database by writing a link query. So db dot products. I hope everyone is aware of about the link. I'm right. And I can directly write here dot to list. And finally, this product list, I can return from here. This way. So it's a simple one table data we are getting and we are returning to the UI here. Okay. So now just do right click here at the index section. I'm just sharing the index section code with you. Do right click, then add a view here. I'm just selecting here the razor view this time. And make sure you have selected here template as list and model class. Let's say you have selected the product this way. So this is the way we added the things. So we having here this setting you have defined, make sure over here. A view name can be anything. Let's say I'm putting here index, template here list, and model class here product. We having the product model now. Shall we go ahead now? Have we completed this one? Okay.
List product.
So I'm just having here index, view name as index, template list, and model class
List.
product. And edit. So using scaffolding, it will generate the things. So this way we added the index here and it automatically showing the list of product this way. Are you able to generate this UI now? So now for the testing purpose, just do one thing, just in the startup class, let me set the controller as product so that we will directly run it from there. And just do one thing, just add a one dummy entry into category, just open your database and make sure you're adding some entry over there. In category, let's say I'm adding here books and I'm adding here courses. So two categories I added here. I added for books and I added here for courses. So make sure you added here two category, one for book and another one for courses, like this way. Have you added it? Okay, that's fine. Now let's add here a product as well. Open the product table in edit mode. And I'm adding here a course for, let's say, ASP.NET core category ID 2. What is the category ID you are having? Just do mention. So I added a product. I added two categories for testing purpose so that we can test it simply. Okay. So now just do one thing here. Let's me add here an action. Okay, now let's run the code to test it out, how it is working. Just setting up this web app as a startup project. You can run it and check out, are you getting this newly added product when you are accessing it? So you can see in my case, it is coming. So this is my newly added product. We added here simply, and it is working fine without an issue. So in my case, I'm able to get the data from the database at my product listing page this way. Are you getting the same? Yeah, guys, tell me, are you getting the same here?
Actually, I am facing some error. Can I share my screen?
Guys, others people do share your status. Are you able to complete the things?
While adding the view,
Have you built the project first?
yes, I have already built.
It is saying system.io file not found. Code generation one issue. Okay. So one package actually it's missing here. It happens with Visual Studio. We don't have configured it properly and we don't have that NuGet package. So just install a NuGet package. I'm sharing the NuGet package name. Just copy from the chat window, code generation and have installed this package.
Yes, I think this one. It's already installed.
So it was working before, fine.
Yeah.
I'm also face issue system null reference exception.
Should I
No, so
discuss?
Actually, this issue is specific to the Visual Studio. Are you able to build the solution properly without any error? Can you rebuild it? Not build, rebuild. Can you try now? What about others people? I
I'm
think you are
also
having the issue with the code generation. So it's a specific the Visual Studio. You need to update your Visual Studio, then I think it should be resolved. But sometimes it not
No.
okay, now it's working.
Okay.
actually I'm getting the error when I run the solution. I'm getting error like system.null reference exception. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. I'm
Can you
not
can you share the screen?
Yes. This one.
It is coming because if you're not passing anything from the product controller, then you will get this error. Model is not coming. In return view method, return products, pass products. In view method, pass products.
Okay.
Method should be only return view. Inside it, pass products. I hope guys everyone has completed. So now let's write the code here for adding a new
Can
product.
you please show me your database context file? I think I have missed something showing some error. The constructor
Make
part.
sure you added this one.
Okay, yes, yes. Thank you.
I hope everyone has completed. I'm right. Can you confirm guys from your end, everyone? Smriti Ranjan, have you done it? Saurabh? Smriti Ranjan, can you confirm from your end? Guys, please confirm.
Hello.
Smriti Ranjan.
I have some issues. The data is not showing. It's done successfully, but data is not showing.
If data is not showing, it means.
Can I share?
Hmm. Actually, you didn't open the product page. It's not the page you're requesting. Can you open the browser? Just do mention the URL / product. Because in the startup class, I set up default controller my product.
Yeah, I have set up as a default, but here I have set up as a default.
No, in the startup class, you need to set up.
Okay. Startup class.
So controller name is here by default product.
Okay. If I change into the product, then it will show. No? Okay, thank you.
Smriti Ranjan, can you share your screen? Actually, I am chasing the services. My case only column name, column headers. Smriti Ranjan, can you share your screen, please? Okay, join laptop. If you are
Hello.
not joined from laptop, unshare your screen. Yes, Sumandar was asking.
Hello. Uh, my column headers are showing, but data is not populating.
So make sure you having the data in your database, then you can see it only.
Yeah, data is there in database.
Can you share your screen?
I am sharing with you.
And Smriti Ranjan, please
Yeah, I'm going to share.
join it from the laptop and share your screen. I want to see this one on each and every one. What about others? Shall we go ahead now?
Hello. Can you check it?
It's loading. Oh yeah, why? Where you? Can you show me the controller action? Can you show me the control action, because I didn't see your Visual Studio screen. Can you show me the controller?
Yeah, I'm going to share. Yeah.
I think you shared only browser, not the complete screen. So I cannot see your code.
Sorry, I got got my point.
Your voice is breaking. Can you say again, please?
Actually, I have not loaded the. Yeah, 1 minute.
Can you share your screen again after stopping? Can you share your screen again after stopping? What about others?
Is it visible now?
Share it again.
Actually, I got my point. Actually,
Prakash, your voice is breaking. Can you ask through the chat windows? Sorry, I cannot understand what you are saying. And Smriti, what is your status now? Do let me know. I hope you have joined it from your laptop. Have you joined it? Sir, are you there? Shiva Mohan, have you completed? Guys, can you hear me? Shiva Mohan. Shiva Mohan, can you share your screen, please? Okay, that's fine. You're getting the data. Perfect. Stop it. Smriti Ranjan, what is the issue you're having in your laptop? Can you share the screenshot? Devi Prasad, have you completed?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's proceed further here. So now let me complete the code for grade 1. This is my index section. And this is my grade. I hope you can see my screen. I'm right. Okay, that's good. And what I'm doing here, I'm just doing here right click, then add a view here. Again, same way, just use razor view. but this time we will use the template create model class. We having here, let's say product. So this is the way, make sure we select it. So I hope everyone has selected here, create template, same model class we having here, same way, there is no issue. Now let's click on that button to add a template using the create one. So this is we having the create one, and everything has been created over here, but product ID is here auto increment, column in the database, I'm removing it. And for category ID, I will change it to the drop down list. So for category ID, I'm changing it to the drop down list. So this is my select one, select. This is my select one. And I will define it as P dash 4. And this is my category ID. Then I'm using it as P dash items. And here I can use a new select list. So I need to bind here a drop down list. So obviously for binding the drop down list, we need a data source. This is a data source I'm using here, category list. I'm having here value field that is category ID. I'm having the category name. Then that's fine. Now just add here a default option. As a default option, I'm adding here, let's say select. And make sure you added the CSS class as well. CSS class would be here form dash control is my CSS class. Simply it is coming over there. So for this one, I will share the code with you. Don't worry. Let me complete it first. So this is my save.
Hi, Chalan. Have you created? Hello.
Tell me.
Have you created the view with model class?
I created the view using model class. Great.
Can you show it once again?
As we
What have you
added
choose at the time?
the list one, this time you need to select the create one. Do right click
Yeah,
here.
I got it.
Then add view. It should be here. Create one. Template create.
Create.
Model class product. This way.
Okay. No data context class.
No data context.
Okay. Thank you.
So the create code I'm sharing with you, which you can have. So this is the one. I shared the code with you. So code I shared with you.
I'm facing some error. You are creating view.
Make sure you have built the code properly, because sometimes you might having the error. Are you able to add the index view properly?
Shalendra, can you share the complete portion of the code?
Okay, I think something is missing here. It is still okay. From description, I have to share it. So description section, I'm sharing it again. And guys, who is in the touch with the Smriti Ranjan? Do you know? Who is in the team of Smriti Ranjan?
Yes, now I'm calling you. Just a minute. Calling him and informing you.
Okay.
Can I share my screen?
Share.
He's not receiving my call.
I think he joined. Sir, in the create method, you have not added the return view method is an error. It will not able to create the things. So whenever you are using the scaffolding, there should not be any error. Otherwise, it will not allow. Now add it, it will not give you any error. Is it fine?
Yeah.
What about this? Code I shared through the chat form, there also you can use it. Smriti Ranjan, can you share your screen, please?
Hello.
Hmm.
Can you show the controller? Actually, I have not copied the view bag.
Which one?
But in controller, we have to define the view bag to bind the category ID.
Which code you need?
Yes, in the controller, in the create method, so there must be something view bag property.
That code I will write here because this code I have not completed. I need to just fetch here the list of category. Let me copy the list of category and put it here now. So I'm just using here db dot categories, then dot to list this way. Now it will work fine. Smriti Ranjan, I don't know what is the issue you are having, but now I'm having the doubt on you. You are not doing the hands-on. Because I don't think there is an issue with the laptop joining. Because note the first case, it happens 2 days before as well. Same question I asked, can you share your screen? You suddenly drop the meeting. Same thing is happening today also. If you're not willing to do the hands-on, not an issue. I don't have any things with you because it's your choice. It's your company who is putting the amount on the training. My duty is only to look at how the people are doing or not. So not an issue if you're not doing the practice, it's your.
Hello, I am facing an issue at the time of running.
Tell me.
Just I am sharing my screen.
So you have mentioned a view back category list. So make sure in the create method, you have defined view back dot category list and you have assigned the value to that one.
Okay.
Can you show the code?
Yeah, I'm sharing.
In the create one, you didn't write the code where you are assigning the value to view back dot categories. Until you will not assign it, then you will not complete it. In the create one.
Yeah, what I will assign here?
I put the code in the chat. You can copy from there and put it here.
Okay.
So guys, good to go ahead now. So now let's complete the create post method here. I'm putting here the create post. This is my create post I'm putting here. And in the create post, I will get here the product class. Product class I'm adding here. And here, let me check the model state. So if let's say model state dot is valid, then write the code for adding the product. db dot products don't add the model. Then we having a db dot shape changes this way. I'm adding it. And finally, after adding the product, let me redirect to the return, redirect to action. Action is here, index this way. This way, it's come. We added here now. And finally, if let's say by the way it's not able to add the things, we need to again bind the category list so that we can able to go to the same page along with the list of categories. Now I'm sharing the code with you. Through the chat, you can try it here and see how we are adding a new product into database by writing this command. So how many people already use the similar code before? Do we have someone who already used the same things before? So just click on the create new link button. I'm having here category as, let's say, courses. I'm having the category name, let's say Azure training. This way. Description I'm having over there. Then click on the save button over there. So you can see it's added here, the Azure training as well, without an issue. This way. Smriti Ranjan, I'm not insulting you. Sorry, sir. If you are finding it is your insult. I'm just asking here, are you sharing your screen or not?
Shailendra, I am getting error. Which can I share my screen?
You can leave it. There is no issue, sir.
Shailendra, Falgun is here.
Yeah, Faguni, tell me.
Yeah. I'm getting this error.
Sir, getting this error, the reason is here. Make sure you're getting the data in view back category list.
Okay.
Your parameter is coming null. This is the reason.
Okay. So okay, I'll check.
Hello.
Yes, Sudhakar, tell me.
Solange, actually, sometimes we require something different like what? When we send the data from content to database, we are doing some multiple operations. So what multiple operations generally we do? We insert the data in one table. At the same time, we want to update the data or some queries we are doing, and after the queries, we do some operations. So how to do this by using this concept you taught? Means what? Suppose I send a data from product view.
Yeah,
In the database,
I
in the database.
got your point. I got your point. In that case, what you need to do here, right now, what is happening? I'm just writing everything based upon this entity class. Okay.
Right.
When there is a requirement, you having a view that is containing the data which might be going to insert into multiple table. We create a view model.
No, actually, not only insert operation it is required. Sometimes it is required to insert the data based on, suppose I will pass the product ID, and based on the product ID, I may require to get the data from another table, and I want to do some update operation or something in another some other tables. So when I do insert one record in product table, I do some different kind of operations in multiple tables in the database. So how those things can be possible?
In that case, based upon, let's say, product ID, you can first fetch the data from the database.
Correct. Right.
Then what are the data you are getting there? Based upon that, you can insert it into the another one.
Yes, can you do those kind? Can you do that kind of application? That means what? You just take the data from products. When I will just input the data, like I will do the save changes method. At the same time, I want to do some multiple operations in the multiple in different tables. Actually, generally we do this kind of requirements.
Okay,
actually
hold
in
on,
our
hold on. Let me first finish this simple CRUD operation. Then we will add a new table. Then I will show you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Shall we go ahead now? I think everyone has completed. Preeti Pranagya, do you have any query?
I have some issue. I'm facing some issue. Can I share my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Is my screen is visible?
Yeah, right.
Okay. This is the issue I am getting from this line. Object reference not set to an instance of object.
So, okay, can you stop the code? What you write here? I think it is auto-generated code, am I right?
Yes. Yeah. What? Yes. Auto-generated, and you have modified some code and you send it into the chat. That I pasted here.
Can you show me the create action in your product controller? So make sure your view bag dot category list. It is an
Sorry.
view bag dot category list. Okay, it's fine. Can you copy the view bag dot category list from here?
Okay. Copied.
And go to the create page.
Paste it here.
Can you paste it here? I think
Oh, same.
do you have data in your category table?
Category table. Yes.
Can you put the breakpoint there? Are you getting the data? Okay, can you show me the category table over there? Make sure your column name are same. Category ID and category name. This is the issue. So their thing should be here category ID and category name. Open the UI and here change the name to category name in line number 14. It
Category?
should be category name.
Which one?
The name should be category name.
Okay, okay. It's coming. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I think everyone has completed. So let's proceed further. To complete here the edit and delete part as well. So open this. This is the create one. I'm just going to copy the create and create post and come to the edit. This is my edit one integer ID. And here let me get the product detail based upon the product ID. So I'm having the product and underscore DB dot products. Then we having a method find. and do pass ID here simply. And finally return the model. And for edit, actually, I'm not creating a separate view. I'm using the same one. This is my same one. Simply. This I'm adding it. And this is the one also. And it should be here edit. This fit is my edit. And in this place, I'm keeping here update one. Update. So it is just similar to the create one. I just did few changes. So let me share the code with you. Need to just use it as it is. So this is my product controller and I'm using the same create one. So please complete it and do let me know. Have you completed the UI part? Sorry, the controller part. Okay, so now we need to do some changes at the UI side as well. So open your create.cshtml and let's do check here for model. If model not equal to null, it should be here actually edit. Otherwise it should be create this way. And everywhere, wherever we are using this one, I'm putting view data title. I'm putting here view data title simply. So this is the way I'm keeping here view data title. This way I'm keeping here view data title simply. So I added here view data title. This way I did, and here also added here view data title simply. And when it is coming to the added, I need to pass here product ID as well. So input, I'm putting input type hidden and ASP-4. ASP-4 is here. Guys, can you mute yourself, please? Hidden. So if you're looking at here, what are the changes I have done? I did the change over here. I did the change over here. I did the change over here. These changes I have done. So please do these changes so that it start working with added action as well without an issue.
Can you share the code?
So this is for my title H1 and form. So guys, shall we go ahead now?
I'm getting an error. That is
What the error you're getting?
object reference.
Object reference error we get only when you are not passing that object. Remember it. So make sure you're passing the object.
From controller.
Hmm.
It is passed, I think. Can I share my screen? It's just have a look. This is my edit.
So in edit, you are getting the product. Okay. So when you're getting the error, when you're trying to click on the edit,
Yes.
you're getting that the reason is you're not passing the edit ID. Open the index file. I need to do one more change that I have not done. So I hope you have completed this one. Now open your index.cshtml file. There I need to do one change.
Yes.
One change is I need to pass the product ID. Otherwise you will get the error as you're getting.
Yes, yes.
So product ID. Write the code for delete also. I'm writing the things for delete also. This is my delete. And define here a on click. It would be a return confirm. Are you sure to delete? Are you sure to delete? This way. So delete code also I completed so that we can use it. I'm sharing the code here. So this is my return confirm. This is my delete one. And here, let me complete the code for delete also. Delete, find the product. If model not equal to null, let me write it underscore db dot products, then remove it through model underscore db dot set index simply. And finally redirect to the index section. Redirect to action is here, index simply. So this is the way we added here delete. Now come over here, delete we have done. Now run the code. Okay, let me share the delete code as well.
In the delete session, no need to put the HTTP post method.
Not we making here get request. If you're looking at here from the index, we are calling it, and this is a get request, not the post. So whenever you are using the anchor tag, so anchor tag always make the get request, not the post one.
Okay. Still, I'm not clear because if we are performing a GET request, then how will delete from database?
Neshwari, the thing is, whenever you are using the HTML form, so at the form level, we having the post request. But whenever you are using the anchor tag or hyperlink, so from there we make always get request. So that it is a get request we are making, then this will going to call my delete action. This delete action will call it, and whatever I'm passing here ID as a root parameter. So this ID it will pass in the URL. Same ID I'm receiving here.
Yes.
Based upon that ID, I'm finding the product first. Then using the DB context, I'm removing it. As we remove from a collection in the C#. Then finally commit the changes. Got it?
Yes.
And after that, we are just redirecting to the index page. Now run the code to check out how it is working. Are you getting it to work? Let me first delete edit. I'm editing here, let's say Microsoft Azure training. Save it. It's working fine. Delete. You can see, are you sure to delete? No. Are you sure to delete? Okay, it gets deleted. So everything is working fine as per the expectation. So we have successfully completed the CRUD operation on the product entity. And how many people already did such operation? Are you are doing it first time? Can you let me know? Because I want to know my audience. How many people are doing it such code first time?
I am having same error during edit. Object reference not set.
Can you share your screen? Guys, can you let me know how many people are doing it first time? It will help me to continue with the upcoming session. So I think viewback.category list.
Here is the same category name. I think you check the database. Check the category database.
So make sure you have not done the same mistake. I'm not sure what your column name. Can you check your column name? Open your SQL Server, check your column name. Or even entity also you can check. The same mistake.
But during create it was drop down was filled successfully.
For credits might not working. The reason is here.
Yes.
We added their modest state valid.
Yes, yes.
So you need to just do one thing. If you will look at here, you will check here modest state invalid. So from the model state, I need to remove the error for product ID. So let's remove the error for product ID so that it will work fine. Because when we wrote the code for create, that time we don't have the product ID over there. But when we completed the code for edit, that time we added the product ID. So this product ID is creating the issue. So make sure in the create one, you removing the error for product ID. Because at the time of creation, we don't need to pass the product ID. Product ID, we will pass it only when we are editing it. That's it. Code I shared with you, you can copy and use it. So anything else? Is it completed?
No.
For me, delete is working, edit working, but update is not working. To display this local space cannot be found.
Make sure you having the update method here properly.
Yes, I just copied that code. I wrote
And,
first time, but
and
I
you
copied.
added this one also here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Have you debugged the code? Try to debug it.
Yes, I'm debugging now.
What about others?
Hello.
Code is not coming to.
Tell me. Do you have any query?
Hello.
Tell me.
Actually, my question is, suppose from the database, to display the data, you have the list, right? So suppose in the data we are having around, that means that means more data is there. Suppose 1 crore records are there.
1 4.
Suppose I have a huge number of records in a table. So how to display the data in that page?
So at a time, how many record you are willing to show?
Suppose I want to display 20 records.
So in that case, you need to implement the paging here.
Yes, I shall use paging, but in the paging, what suppose I will use the list. So it will get the data, all the data will first it will bind in the page, then only it will display the 20 records. But now my cost is what? It will take time to get the 1 lakh records from the table.
No, you don't need to fetch all the 1 lakh record. You have to fetch only the record based upon the page size. If your page size is 20, only first 20 it will take.
Suppose I will go for second page, then it will retrieve the second, that means 20 to 40, right?
Yeah, then it will again request 21 to 40.
So how to do that?
So that time you have to write the paging.
No, paging, I said paging we can write, the paging concept we can write, but when I will click on some specific page number, so how to read the only 21
So that link you need to create.
So you do that kind of a pages, right? Actually, that actually we require in the training.
If you need such sample, I can share with the sample code. So there is a one NuGet package is available. Page list. Using the page list, it can be done.
So you do those kind of pages in our training session, because actually really we require those kind of
so the
requirements.
I'm saying paging one. If you need the things, I can share with them. I'm not saying I will not share.
So I request you, okay, you can share it and we will do that. So I request you that please you do that kind of application in our training
Not an
session.
issue. On Monday, I can show the paging part as well. Anything.
Yes. Okay.
And guys, one more thing here. On Monday, we don't have the session. Session we be have on Tuesday now. So Monday is off for the training. Okay, I'm saying training off, not the office off. Okay.
My breakpoint is not going there.
Can you share your screen? Where your breakpoint is not going.
See, I'm debugging this, but it is not coming.
Can you show
Not
me
hitting
that
it.
create.css HTML page?
Here I wrote I just typed this manually, means I just wrote this, but due to this error, right now I've just copied your code and pasted here.
I'm missing the @ code.
Where?
Line number 9. Just put the @ up before view.
That is actually not the issue. That is showing as a text, I'm sure. You can put the @ because edit is not showing over there. Can you run the code again now? What it is saying? Because I think if view data is coming, it should go to that edit one. Click on the save button.
Yes, I clicked. Now nothing happens.
No, in this case, I told you one more thing. Make sure the product ID error you have removed. Have removed the product ID error. Open your create
I have no
action.
built error.
Open the create action. There you need to write it. Go to the create one, create post. Here need to write model state dot remove for product ID.
Sir, why we do that model remove?
The reason is
Yeah.
when a property is required, it
Yes.
show the error for that property. If corresponding to that key, you want to remove the error, so this one you need to require. Because the first time we have
That
not
means
added the product ID at the page. Product ID we added as a hidden field later on. So
Okay.
that's why we need to remove it. Code I shared in the chat.
First you have to remove. Yes.
Copy the code from the chat. It should come before line number 31, not in the last. It should come first before the model state. Over here. Now restart it.
Yes. Yes, it is done.
Shall we go ahead now?
Yes.
Okay, so we have completed with here the CRUD operation. Okay, and if you're looking at the index page, actually we getting
Narendra, 1 minute.
the category ID here. Tell me.
After changing the view bag Value field is from name to category name. Update is working, but create is not working.
Have you added this one?
Yes,
Model
remove.
state remove.
Yes.
Can you share your screen? Have you debugged the code?
In get method there is error. Here the error is coming.
So what you are getting in the category list? Okay, have you checked out that one? Are you getting the product in viewback.category? It should not product.toList. It should be db.category.toList.
Sorry, sir.
So just add the category one. Okay, I hope everyone has completed. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now, if you're looking at here at my index page, we are getting here category ID. I'm right. But let's say you don't want to get the category ID. You want to get here the category name. So how we can change it? So for this one, we need to create a model class. Let me add a model class here. And now let's customize the things. Just do right click on the models folder. And here I'm adding a class with the name product model. Product model is my class name. And it will have the almost same properties as we have in product class. So it will have product ID. It will have name. It will have description. It will have category ID as well. Category ID. So we having product ID, name, description, category ID. And let me add one more property that is for category name. Or we can say only category, that is also fine. So just add this product model class where you having these things. This way. This is my product model class. And now in place of adding the at the index page, the reference of del.product, I'm adding it here. This web app models, then product model. This one you need to add. And in place of category ID, replace it category. And here also replace it with category. This is a change first need to do in the UI so that we can start showing the category name over there, not the category ID. Code I shared through the chat, you can copy and open the index.cshtml and do the changes. Shall we go ahead now and make sure we added the model, this model reference at the top level. In your case, you might having the different namespace. I don't know. Please check out your namespace and make sure in place of display name, you added the category and place. So on the complete code I shared with you, can copy and use it, but make sure the namespace you're changing properly. So have you completed this one? What about others? So good to go ahead. So now let's open here this index one and let me change this query. That should be here now, where products equal to, I will write a join query from PRD in underscore DB dot products, then join cat in underscore DB dot categories, generate the join condition, PRD dot category ID equals cat dot category ID. Then select new. I'm selecting here for product model this way. And let me return product ID PRD dot product ID name equal to PRD dot name. We having a description equal to PRD dot description. We having here, are you using unit price here? No. Category equal to PRD dot category name. So this is a cat dot name, cat dot name. And finally wrap it in a parenthesis to convert into list dot to list this way. So this is how we need to just change the query into the product list simply. This is the way I added the product list. So check it now whether you're getting the category name also. So you can see I'm getting a category name as courses perfectly. So this is the way you can write here inner join query. So this is the inner join. Similarly, you can write here the another join as well. It's up to you how you are willing to display the content over there.
Can you show the index page? Can you show the table, this table?
Which one?
Table, whole table.
This class.
Yes, I am asking on table class, only table
This
class.
this code I shared with you. Only category ID to change only category. There's not a
Okay.
big major change, only in place of category ID, put category. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
So guys, are you getting the same output now? So do we have someone who is facing the issue regarding this one? So guys, I have done from my side for today's session. If you have any query, any doubt, please do ask. And make sure you have completed this sample as well. And guys, now you're having the 3 days time. So even you having the access to the .NET LMS as well. So please from there, watch the
Actually, I am
videos.
facing a problem.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Friends, actually, in the next class, actually, we are expecting that three things what we left today. That is how to use the procedure using entity framework.
If you
And,
look at the course content, it's already there. SP, paging, insertion to multiple table. I will show you in next session. Don't worry.
Yeah, and that's why. Thank you.
And
Can I ask one more thing? Like this crude operation, can I expect can you have a same crude operation through Dapper by using Dapper?
Sorry, Dapper is not the part of training program.
Okay.
Guys, what are the course content I shared with you? Please look at that one.
Yes.
Because
okay,
whatever is decided in the training, I will deliver that one. If something is
okay. It's
possible,
okay.
I can do it. I'm not denying.
It's okay, sir. Actually, again, one more requirement. Actually, we usually have that. Generally, suppose one master detail data is there. Master detail data. So we have the master data. Suppose one product. Suppose one order is there. In one order, and we have to select multiple products. So in an entity framework, what is our requirement? Order and all the products I selected for the requirements, those need to store in the database in one request. That means how to store the multiple data in a one, that means bulk insert or something like that, or something is there. So at a time, master and detailed data need to go to the database and it required to store. So actually, these kind of operations we required in our project actually. That's why if it can be possible in our training session, it will be useful.
Sudhakar, the thing is, first need to understand how data you are sending. First tell me how you're sending the data to the server side. Are you sending one by one or are you sending at once?
No, today what you we have discussed today, we just send just data we are having. That means model object what we are having. That model object it's saved in the database. That means in the product object what we have.
It's a simple model object. It's containing the list of data as well. I'm asking that one.
No, today what we have discussed only in the product class. This is not a list. It is a simple product class. So once we have entered the data in product, so whatever we are having, that product object is stored in the database.
No,
in the product.
that sample I will show you on next session. I told you already.
Yes, sir. I'm not saying today. So in the next class, we are expecting all these things because those kind of requirements we are having in our existing.
Not an issue. I will show. There is no issue.
Okay.
Anything else?
Just I'm sharing what actually we require in our existing.
Sir, what is possible, I can do it here. I will not deny. Okay.
Yes.
Anything else? So guys, you having the now 3 days gap. So I'm expecting whatever we have done in this week, please revise it properly. So that I'm sure when we do the hands-on, so many things we are not able to remember. Okay, we are not able to recall them. So please revise it. Even at the portal, we having the access to some other batch as well. Okay, it's not the case you having only the things limited to this one. Even the Sudhakar, I will tell you what are the things actually we offer to you. It's not about the content I'm sharing with you here.
Yes.
We are providing you beyond that.
Yes, just 2 days back I had gone through that.
If you were looking at,
I didn't find any content.
Let me finish. Please hold on. If you're looking at here, we having what are the scenario you're telling, we already covered in that batch. So don't worry, you will not face any issue after joining this training. I can take guarantee. So when it is coming, this is your batch here. We having the another batch. Let's say take the example of 280. Note this is not completed. This one is completed. So actually here we having an end-to-end project, which is actually a requirement. So this project is not a part of this training program, but here in this live training, we are building it. So just download this project source code. In this project source code, I explain everything, whatever you needed. If you need the project, I can show you the clip of the project, how actually is going to running. It's a real project. You will find out a payment gateway also indicated over there. But again, I'm telling you, this is not the part of the training. This project is not the part of this training, but still the access we are giving to you. So if you're looking at here, it's completely based upon the clean architecture. You can see latest their entities, repositories, services, UI. Okay. And here, when you will go to even paging, Paging also I put over there. So let me show you the UI. It's coding. You can see. So here, let's start with this option. So just look at here. You can see it's a complete flow I created here. It's you can see it's a complete workflow built. It's not a simple checkout page. It's a properly professionally done UI. You can see. Got it? So this will give you the idea how to do it. Anything else? So do you have any other query now?
Yeah, definitely I will go through these things, but we are expecting all these points what I requested. Those points.
Sir, I didn't deny. I said that what I promise, I deliver it. Even after beyond, this is the things also you will get it. This is I'm trying to explain.
Okay. Thank you.
So we having the session now on Tuesday, but I'm expecting between you have revised the things so that you will not face the issue. And please guys, what are the operation we are doing? I need the speed over there. Because if you want to do everything in a hands-on way, I need the speed because I feel here somehow you are stucking. The reason is here because of you are not revising the things. It might be some people not looking at the things they are doing first time. So you're having the good time over there, 3 days off is there. Please look at everything so that you having the confidence, you having the understanding how to add the view, how to create the code, everything you can do it over there. So that when you come to the Tuesday, you will be have confidence. Is it clear? And do you have any query? Or to go ahead?